Well, here we go with video 4 of alternatives to the SKX. If you watched all the videos, I'm not going to repeat myself, you'll know why I'm looking at alternatives for this SKX. My friend kindly offered to lend me a watch that he uses for work. It's not something that I've come across before. I think it was released around the same time as the SKX, so it's got a bit of provenance with it. It was issued, I believe, to a military force in the world. It's an Italian force. You might know what I'm talking about now I've said that. Let's move the SKX out of the way. And it's the Citizen NY0040, I think. It's got the Miyota 8204 movement, and this is quite a new one. I think previously they had the 8203 movement, which didn't hack and hand wind, whereas this does. I think he's had this for 7 months, 6 months, 7 months, something like that. I'm not going to be too accurate on that. But he wears this to work, so it is marked. There are a couple of scratches on the glass, mineral crystal, which no doubt will be coming my way at some point to change over to a sapphire. I'll just run over some specs. Originally this came with a rubber strap. He said it was like the Seiko one, as rough or stiff as sin, so he got it off of that, and it's the same strap, it's a Watch Gecko strap as I've got on mine, so fair play to him. On this strap the watch weighs 84 grams. The diameter of this watch is 41.6. The thickness is 12.4 millimeters, so it's less than SKX. Still got a nice case shape to it. It's not just a flat-sided case. I've worn this, and I will say it does wear smaller than that 41.6 millimeter suggests. I will slip it on in a minute. Yeah, 12.4 millimeters thick, lug to lug distance of 47.18, 20mm strap, mineral crystal, day date, 60 click rotating bezel. It's got the colour match date wheel, and he paid £155 for this, UK, sourced in the UK as well, so there was no import charges, anything like that. I'll just pop that there. I've got a 7.5 inch wrist, so I'll pop this on, but it does wear smaller than that measurement suggests, and it's obviously lighter. I think they do an Eco Drive watch of a similar style, and that also, I think these also come, you can get these with a metal bracelet, a dive bracelet, so there you go. So it's a 7.5 inch wrist I've got, and you can see it's not, doesn't look that, it does wear smaller than the suggested. They also do this in titanium. I think you can get a titanium version with a titanium strap. You're obviously going to be spending a lot more money. I had a quick look before I came on to do this video, and it's about £259, I think, the titanium version with titanium strap, so pretty good. The obviously one of the quirks, if you like, of this, or the identifying feature, is that crown at 8 o'clock is a screw down crown. It does say divers watch, I believe. If I just get my watch back on, should leave that till last really, but there you are. Yeah, divers, water resist 200 meters. So, and I believe this was issued to the Italian Navy or some one of their departments of defence at one point. So it's a solid case back, Citizen watch code, water resist 200 meters, Japan movement. It's got the movement number on the back, but on the dial it's actually got 8203, so they obviously haven't updated the dials with the 8204 movement designation on there. So it's a well finished watch. It's got the chapter ring on there with minute markers. It's got applied logos, I believe. I don't think they're punched through from the back, with chrome surrounds. The loom on this is it's almost as good as the SKX. Not quite, but almost. It's certainly good enough. I put a UV torch to both of them last night. There was very little in it. This was certainly legible. You're not going to have a problem seeing it. It's got typical hands that they're easy to see, very legible. Even at night, you can see. I'm just going to move them around a bit so the crown pops out nicely. Two definite positions on there, hacks and hand winds. Just pop that back in. Yeah, so legibility, especially when you're like me. I wear glasses, so I can look at this without my glasses on, see the time, no problem. Can't say the same for the date, but I can certainly do it with the time. It's got the polished sides, brush tops the same as the SKX. Would I consider this? Yes, I would. So I've got no problem with my iota movements. I know certain people or certain reviewers have mentioned about the one direction winding on it and the pendulum effect that you get on it. I can't say I've experienced that, not when I wore this, and neither when I wore the Bulova Devil Diver. I didn't find it an issue at all. I haven't found an issue with when I wore the Devil Diver. It's obviously one way, whereas the Seiko's got the magic lever where it will wind whichever way the pendulum swings on the automatic assembly on the back. The Myotas only wind one way, but I haven't had any problems with it running out of reserve. It's I think that was, I wore the Bulova Devil Diver for a few days and it was fine. I didn't have to resort to hand winding it. I'm not massively active. I don't go out mountain biking down mountains and stuff like that, so but for this, for what I do, I've got no problems with the Myoto movements. I don't really know a lot about the Orient movements either, so as long as it hacks and hand winds, that's fine with me. So I'm going to reach a bit of a conclusion now. This is the last video 4. So we've got 4 watches. We've got the Ratio Freediver, we've got the Seiko SRPG, we've got the Orient Mako 2, and we've got the Citizen. I'm going to put them in the order that I feel would serve my needs. So these won't be yours. Number 1 for me is going to be the Orient Mako 2. I was just really surprised. I got it for a great price. I can't believe I got it for that price, to be honest. So really made up with that. The finishing on that was excellent. Hacks and winds. The dial looks way more than what I paid for it. It's got a decent strap on it, although it's hollow end links. It's the clasp is budget, but that's fine. It looks robust. No issue with that at all. I know I'm going to scratch the dial on it or the glass, but I've seen videos it's possible to replace the glass on it, so I've got no issue with that. That's in my number 1 spot. My number 2 spot is going to be the SRPG, the Seiko SRPG. There's just something about that case shape. It's got that SKX inspiration to it. I know it's not got the screw down crown and it's not a proper dive certified watch like the SKX, but it's got the aesthetics of it. 100 meters, that's fine for me. I'm not going to do too much than that. The one that we looked at, the 140th anniversary one, it looked great with that waffle type dial, blue hands, etc. But having said that, I'd probably go for the standard version of that watch. So having drilled lugs means quick strap changes. Obviously the Seiko straps are renowned for being less than satisfactory, let me put it that way. The only thing I've got to watch out for if I do buy one of those is it's going to be the alignment, because it's just a minefield. Because if I got one that wasn't aligned properly, I would be so disappointed with it, and it would just turn me off the watch. I'd have to go to a jeweller's, I think, and buy one, or do what my friend did and contact them and say, can you please check it, send me some photographs before you send me a watch. It would just be I'd just be so unhappy if I received a watch. So that's my number 2. A very close number 3 is going to be the Citizen. Again, the dial for me looks a cut above the SKX. Just looks like a bit more thought has gone into it. But I will say, I watched a review and somebody said you can't look at the 12 o'clock marker and not think of a pair of underpants. So something to bear in mind. Not something I'd considered before. Bezel action good. No problem with the movement. Nice colour match dial. Mineral glass again, but you can change to sapphire. Well finished case. Nice case shape. Over the SKX it does hack and hand wind. So obviously this watch came with a rubber strap. You can get the metal ones. It's a pity you didn't have the titanium one, because I'd love to get my hands on one of those. Yeah, bezel action's good. So this runs the SRPG 140th edition watch, very close. This could definitely grow on me more. And lastly would be the Ratio Freediver. It's close, but it's either overpriced or it's underspecified. So for what the bezel finish, the coin edge, for want of a better word, it was coarse. The bezel action was coarse. Without, I mean, you got the Seiko strap with it, but you can't fit it. You can't have that on there. I don't know about curved end straps and spring bars. If that's what it needs, why weren't they in the box with it? The loom pit fell out. Has got the shape of the SKX, but it was heavy, and it's although it looked the same, for me it wore very top heavy. I don't think that was just down to the weight, if that makes sense. It just when you wear the SKX, it's a lovely fitting watch. On that bracelet that is on it now, it wears fine. But the Ratio Freediver for me didn't. So keep an eye on eBay. You might see it popping up on there in the next week or so. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed these series of videos, and I will make more of an effort now the weather's going to be getting into winter time to get these videos out a bit more regularly. Who knows what it's going to be next. I think it's going to be a quartz watch next. That might upset a few people. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If it's given you any insights or opened some new avenues for you, that's great. And I'll see you later.